what's up, guys? Welcome to the Last Down Podcast with your boy Lopez.
And your boy Anguiano.
We're here today with a brand new episode. We got a lot to discuss. Today is part 2 of our free agency predictions on the defensive side, my favorite side. But before we start, we want to cover a couple news that happened from episode 4 and 5.
Yeah, obviously, Mariota, Carson Wentz, they all got released by their teams. And Leonard Fournette is expected to be released from the Buccaneers too. Honestly, what are your thoughts on all this?
These are moves that don't really interest me. First of all, honestly, these are guys that are, not going to be major contributors except for Fournette. Fournette's the only one that I, give an exception to. But Mariota and Wentz, man, they can go to the XFL. They can go to the USFL. They're going to be backups,
They're going to be backups. I pretty much agree with you. I think the only person here that matters is going to be Leonard Fournette. But still, it's just crazy to think about how, Mariota and Wentz used to be relevant, high draft picks.
Yeah.
And then they just sunk. Their careers just sunk. They fell off pretty good, especially Wentz. But I truthfully believe Wentz's injury obviously changed them.
No, yeah, definitely. The Wentz injury, he was having an MVP caliber year in 2017. And after that, it just fell off. And
he actually got hurt against the Rams. I still remember.
Yeesh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
honestly.
it was, I think, a rushing touchdown.
Right.
He was trying to rush in, and then that's when he got that injury.
Right. No, yeah, I do think that he's done. Honestly, I don't see any other team taking a chance with him, especially after those those bad years with the Colts and the Commanders. I think it's done.
Yeah, I agree. And same with Mariota. I don't think he's going to get the backup anywhere.
He could go back to Las Vegas and just be the backup.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the only person I do see, obviously, is Leonard Fournette. And I guess I feel like I actually can see him going to a team like the Dolphins or the Raiders, depending on the Jacobs situation.
No, yeah, that's a good move for him, honestly. If he goes to Miami, it's down the state, so yeah, he gets to stay,
Yeah, so obviously, as your eyes.
Oh, man, here we go again. Round 2, bro. 2-0, bro. The eyes. Dude, these lights are bright as hell, but it is what it is. It'll go away. But moving on, we're talking the defensive side of free agency. We got a lot to cover. A lot of positions, and honestly, the defensive side is very stacked.
Yeah, no, especially the secondary. But we're going to start off with the D lineman. Lopez, take it away.
Yes, sir. So I hope it doesn't look unprofessional, but I have my list here, and so on my phone. And so we want to start with a veteran, defensive tackle Fletcher Cox. Right now he's on the Eagles. He is currently 32, so he's pushing his age, and I honestly have him staying in Philadelphia.
I have him going to the Cardinals. I do think they just need to rebuild that defense, especially with Watt retiring. They need pressure. Their defense already sucks. So, adding a veteran, would certainly help.
Right.
Bender done that. Still got about 7 sacks this year.
Yeah.
I see him being a Cardinal.
That's a good take. They need everything.
They need everything.
The defense needs to stack up, and if they want to be a legitimate threat in the West, they need defense. So Fletcher Cox, veteran, he brings a lot to the table. But the second defensive tackle in my list is his teammate, Javon Hargrave.
I predict them to get franchise tagged by the Eagles. I do think that he's gonna stay because let's just be real, they have 2 above average the defensive tackles.
Right.
They're barely over the salary cap. It would be pretty hard for them to keep both. And I'm pretty sure they want to probably keep someone else on defense.
Right.
Because they're not the only ones on defense that are free agents.
True.
So I do expect them to stay with the Eagles. I feel like they'll keep one of those 2.
Right. And since he is a bit younger, he has a lot more potential and a lot more ability than Fletcher Cox. And honestly, I have him going to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Really? Hargrave,
yeah. I think the Raiders go all in on defense this year. They bulk it up with Crosby, and why not?
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And so moving on, we got one defensive tackle that I should have had higher, and I've seen a lot of people rank him really high, is Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Tomlinson?
Yes, on the Vikings.
Yeah, I know Minnesota needs the defense. I'm pretty sure they would probably want to keep him, but obviously their cap space is concerning to me, and I do feel like they'll probably consider going through a draft. Given that, I think Dalvin Tomlinson is going to be on a team like the Ravens.
Ravens, not a bad move, but I do see him going to a team that does need a lot of defense, and that's the Giants. The Giants have a lot of cap space, but they got to play it smart, with Barkley.
I think if they got him, their defensive tackle unit would be crazy. Him and Lawrence, that would be pretty impressive. Right. Honestly, that would be hard to stop.
Yeah, and I think with Tomlinson having a career year last year, I don't think the Vikings are going to have enough money for him. But if they do, then I can also see him staying. But for now, the Giants. Yeah. And so moving on, we have David Onyemata, who's on the New Orleans Saints. First off, before I predict I asked you, the Saints have a lot of free agents. A lot on the defensive side. So there's going to be a lot that we're going to see. A lot
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think, given their cap space, and he's a pretty good defensive tackle, but I feel like he could still find a defensive tackle in the draft.
Right.
And given that, I feel like he's going to go to a team that has cap space, that likes to play defense. So I think he's going to go to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, New England has to revamp their defense if they want to be considered legitimate once again. And New England, they have a good coaching staff. And obviously you have Belichick. Like he'll make anyone into a star. So that's not... I don't disagree with that take. But I can see him going to a team like... I forgot. I have him going to Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah.
I can see that too. Obviously young. They still need some defense. I can agree with that too.
Yeah, and Detroit, with MCDC, he's going crazy.
MCDC? Wait, what do you mean?
Dan Campbell.
Oh.
Motor City, Dan Campbell. Come on.
Okay.
Even as a Packers fan, I know that.
Well, you're a Packers fan. Of course you're gonna know more about your rival.
No, yeah, MCDC and his extreme charisma, I think he just brings a lot, as a coach. Mm-hmm. And so, lastly, I have a player that I kind of added at the end, and I should have considered him higher. Is Draymond Jones.
I predict him going to the Green Bay Packers, to your team. I feel like your team obviously needs a little bit more pressure.
True.
Obviously, you lost one of the Smith brothers.
Right.
Maybe he's going to be there and fill in the void for the offensive line of Green Bay. And I still hope, though, biasedly, that you guys are still mid, even with this acquisition. But, I do predict him going to the Packers.
Yeah, I didn't choose a lot of team. I mean, I didn't call anyone to go to Green Bay in this list, but I'll take that, bro. Draymond Jones, I'll take that. He was solid in Denver, and I would want him, but I do have him going to Cleveland because that's his hometown. I was looking. He's from Ohio State. He's from Ohio, so why not go back to Cleveland?
Probably more like Cincy. They have the cap space, unlike Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, that does make sense, but who knows? It's his hometown. Give him a try. Yeah. So now moving on to the other defensive linemen, we're talking about defensive end, and here I got a couple big guys, a couple guys that can go anywhere, and I'm gonna start it off with Yannick Ngakoue.
I feel like he's going to go to the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like, obviously they have some guys, Taylor, Uche.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think his name is Uche. I forgot his last name, but Taylor and some other guy.
Right.
He used to be on the Chargers.
Right.
Nwosu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nwosu. They have two guys that can pretty much, obviously, get to the quarterback, but it's pretty clear that their defense still needs more.
True. True.
So I feel like Ngakoue, I don't know if I pronounced his last name right, but I feel like he's going to be signed there for a very good deal, multi-year.
Yeah.
I feel like Seattle's going to lock in on him, lock in on Geno Smith, because their offense, they have potential, as much as I hate to say it as a Rams fan, but they do have potential.
Yannick is a solid piece. He's has a lot of potential, and he showed it in Indianapolis. But I do see him elevate his game and go to a contender. I see him going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I can see that too, but I feel like even though I'm a Rams fan, I feel like seeing the Seahawks up close, I feel like they're not too far off from being contenders.
True. No, yeah, they just
as much as I hate to say it.
Well, I know you hate. I know you definitely hate to say that. And so going on to another player from the AFC, I got Justin Houston.
I predict him going to another one of my division rivals. I feel like James Houston is going to be a Cardinal. Obviously, the J.J. Watt, defensive end, retiring. So they should just fill in the void with him. Mm-hmm. I feel like they'll give him a good deal.
Right.
Decent cap space. And, I feel like Arizona. I've already said 2 people going to the Cardinals, but,
I mean, you have a lot of players going to your division right now.
Yeah, because I watch my division close enough.
True.
As much as I hate it, especially the Cardinals, they're going to need defense.
No, yeah. Justin Houston, right now he's on Baltimore. I think he stays there. I just think he stays one more year. I know he's getting there in age, so, give him one more year in Baltimore. Or if not, I see him going to the Raiders.
Raiders?
Yeah. I feel like the Raiders, they always tend to, overspend and buy old defensive players like they did with Chandler Jones. So I feel like, why not get another old guy in the backfield? All right. So another player from the NFC, I got Zach Allen. He is currently on the Cardinals.
I feel like they're going to keep him there. I feel like maybe a franchise tag, maybe a little deal. Who knows? But I feel like obviously they're going to try to retain some youth.
Right.
And truthfully, I'm just saying Zach Allen and Houston are going to be the edges for the Cardinals. Right. One older, still has some juice in him, and one younger could probably fill in the void for J.J. Watt.
Right.
So I feel like, 2 Cardinals in that position is not crazy to say, because obviously that defense needs a lot of revamping. It
does. And Zach Allen also, again, had another career year with the Arizona Cardinals. I kind of saw that the Packers were a possible team for him. But honestly, I agree with your take. I think he's going to stay in Arizona. I have him staying in Arizona. Either he gets franchise tagged or he gets maybe a good 3-year deal and gets it done in Arizona. Like you said, fill in that J.J. Watt void.
Yeah.
And so now on to the following one. We got 2 more. I have Marcus Davenport.
Marcus Davenport, I actually have him going to the Broncos. He's a Saint right now.
Right.
Obviously. So he was under Sean Payton before. Mm-hmm. Kind of same thing with MT, get under Sean Payton again.
Yeah.
Broncos already have a good defense. Just having him would elevate that defense even more.
Exactly.
And then it'll just, I feel like they'll build him in nicely, and it would just make some sense,
No, definitely. And I also have Marcus Davenport going to the Broncos just because of that. Because Sean Payton, and also that the Broncos are supposedly going to go all in on him. And, New Orleans doesn't have the money to keep all of these defenders, so they gotta play it wisely. Or else
maybe they'll get their car somehow. Cut a lot of people and get their car. I wouldn't want that as a Saints fan, but
no, their defense is gonna take a big hit. And so, lastly, one of the big names, one of the big defensive ends is Brandon Graham.
You see how you use your Raider analogy earlier about how they like to sign old players.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of have that analogy, but not with the Raiders. With the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like Brandon Graham is going to be a Falcon.
Right.
They can't keep everyone, bro. Fletcher Cox, what's his name? Hargrave, right?
Hargrave.
Yeah. Graham, Gardner Johnson. They can't keep all of them. Nope. They can't.
Nope.
So, I already said Hargrave is going to stay in my predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they can't keep everyone. So, I do have Graham to the Falcons.
Graham
on an expensive deal because he still has juice in him.
True. No, yeah, definitely. He still balling out at this age, and he's an icon in Philadelphia. Like, you can't discredit him being a big piece in Philadelphia's defense. But like you said, given that there's a lot of free agents, I do have him going to a different team. As much as I wish he would stay in Philadelphia, I have him going to his division rival, the New York Giants.
Oh, that would be actually pretty interesting.
Honestly, the New York Giants need to fill that void badly. So why not bring in your division rival and see him work?
Yeah, all they have right now. Honestly, they have a decent defensive line, though.
They do. No, yeah, they do. I don't disagree with that, but I just feel like at this point, get a veteran, and if they want, you got to take the next step. Get a veteran and help the young guys work. Yeah.
But nah, Graham to me could be a Falcon just because they have the money. They're gonna probably try and entice him.
No, yeah, that's true. And also, would Brandon Graham betray his beloved Philadelphia like that?
To the Falcons, it wouldn't be a betrayal.
No, I'm saying,
but to the Giants, it would.
No. I meant to say, like, would he actually go to the Giants? Even though, like, I feel like he would. Anyways, we're moving on to the inside linebackers. The inside linebacker position, the linebacker position in overall, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of good free agents. So I want to start with one that I personally like a lot. He reminds me of an old school hitter, Lavonte David. I could see him. Obviously, Tampa's like in the negatives. He's getting a little older. Yep.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to keep him. Obviously, because they need a rebuild. Brady's retired.
Yep.
With that being said, I can imagine Lavonte David at this point wanting to go to someone that's pretty good. Therefore, I got him going to the Buffalo Bills.
It's like you're copying from me this time.
Really?
I have him going to the Buffalo Bills as well. Given that he's 33 years old and he still has a lot of juice in the tank, he definitely wants to pull the Von Miller move and go to like a franchise team a team that is building up for a run. And so I see him going to the Buffalo Bills and tie him in with Von Miller. Damn, that defense would be
that
crazy.
Linebacker position would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And so now, this is a big one, actually. I kind of wanted to know what your take is on this one. But, Bobby Wagner.
No, I think Bobby Wagner is going to go, like I said, to the AFC and get what he deserves. Therefore, I think Bobby Wagner is going to be a Cincinnati Bengal. And, I feel like he'll probably take a cheaper deal just because he wants to win at this point, I'm pretty sure. And why not just go to Cincinnati? Their sack rate was low,
Yeah.
Go there, even though he's not there to be sacking, but just
true.
His presence will certainly help the front seven.
No, yeah, definitely. I honestly didn't go that route. I'll be honest. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't go that route in thinking that he should go straight to a contender, because I have him returning to Seattle. What? You don't like that? Come on. I know damn well he misses Seattle a lot. I know damn well.
What makes you think that?
Dude, he was like the last Legion of Boom member. A lot of people love him out there, and like a lot of people were sad that he got traded, or he left in free agency. My bad. But they bring him back. Bring him back. The Seattle Seahawks also need the defense. They got the cap space.
Yes, they do, but let's just go to the next.
And so now we're going into the younger side of the linebackers, because those were kind of on the older side. We got Tremaine Edmonds from the Buffalo Bills.
Since obviously I predict Lavonte David, who has the same position as Edmonds, to go to the Bills.
Right.
I don't predict Edmonds to go to the Bills, but rather I feel like it's to be a Las Vegas Raider.
Ooh.
They need that run defense. They need defense, like you said. With Crosby, fill in some spots, Tremaine Edmonds.
True.
To the Raiders. Sounds
like you're a Raiders fan right now. But anyways.
This is the first time I said the Raiders.
I'm playing. More like me. But anyways, I kind of have mixed reactions between Tremaine Edmonds. Honestly, I feel like he could stay with Buffalo, but he has to take a cut, like a major cut, because the Bills don't have that type of money as well. I honestly see it going.
Why are you laughing?
I honestly see him go. You're not going to like this. I honestly see him to the 49ers. What? What the fuck?
Bro, what? You think I care? You think I care?
Yes.
We're already worse than them. I don't care anymore.
Okay.
That would be barely anything to me at this point. They have CMC. They have everything. Okay? I don't care anymore.
Anyways.
It hurts.
Anyways, moving on to I think this is my I have two more. I have one guy who's in LA right now. I have Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy. Yeah. Finally, no Raider. No Niner predictions.
No more. These last three were good. Yeah.
All right, Van Noy. I actually think he's gonna go to. Funny how we're talking about division rivals. I think he's gonna go to my division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. I think, like I said, I think they're gonna go for inside linebacker, but not Bobby Wagner.
No.
I feel like Van Noy's just a little younger. I know Bobby Wagner is he knows the system, but at the same time, it's like, I think Van Noy to the Seahawks still would make sense. So I just feel like Bobby Wagner would not do the Rams like that and go back to his division rival, but rather go to a contender on the other side.
Okay, that's not a bad take, honestly. But with Kyle Van Noy reaching up there in age, there's only so much he can do. But I think he's still athletic. Even though he's kind of up there in age, he's still athletic, and I'm pretty sure that he's not going to stay with the Chargers. I think I have him going back to New England.
Because I can see that.
Because I think it was someone was recruiting him from the Patriots. I just can't remember who. But
why are you laughing again, bro?
I can't ignore the fact that Anguiano's dog is. I'm sorry. If I'm being honest,
we're good.
Yeah. Anyways, it's Kyle Van Noy to the Patriots. But lastly, Alex Anzalone from the Cardinals. I mean,
not the Cardinals, bro. The Lions. I expect them to stay there.
Oops.
I feel like they're gonna probably sign him to a little deal. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna franchise tag him. I think they'll sign him to a little deal.
He's a good player.
He's a good linebacker.
I actually was surprised because I remember him on. Was he on the Patriots or am I tripping? I don't know.
He was on the Saints.
Oh, the Saints. Honestly, when I saw him in the Saints, I was like, man, whatever. Like, but now that he's actually kind of decent, pretty good, I was like, damn, never mind. Now now a lot of teams are gonna seek for him. I wouldn't want him to stay in Detroit though. I have him going to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, Las Vegas. I mean, Vegas, it's a young guy, Change the tradition from an old guy to a young guy. Get a young linebacker in. Now, it's your turn.
All right, starting off with the first position, I'm going to lead. Outside linebacker, to top it off, the first name I'm going to say is, I can't even pronounce it.
Come on.
Agbana Okoro.
Okunku, I think so.
Texans outside linebacker.
Right.
Where do you think he's going to go?
So, I'm going to say, he's going to Cleveland.
Yeah, like cap space does not exist.
Well, I mean, Cleveland's going to lose players. They'll find a way. Like, they'll fit in people, man. They'll fit in people. Get him in Cleveland, or if not Cleveland, he's going to step in and go into the Chargers.
Well, I predict so I'm not going to botch his name again.
Yeah.
I predict them to stay with the Texans. He's still kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, they're going to keep him. And, yeah. And then outside of him, where do you think Lorenzo Carter is going to be?
What team is he currently in?
Falcons.
Lorenzo Carter. There's a lot of hype about him. I could see him staying in Atlanta. Honestly, I think, that's my take. He's going to stay in Atlanta. They have the money. He's young. Just give him a good deal.
I think he'll stay in Atlanta too.
Right.
But I feel like more franchise tag vibes because, he's good, but
yeah,
their D line is horrible.
That's true.
And now next guy is Caden Ellis.
He is currently on
the Saints.
Another defensive player from the Saints. I feel bad for the Saints fans, but he's going to stay.
Why bro, what? You're like, I feel bad for the Saints. Saints fans.
But he's the only one.
Oh, he's gonna stay.
Yeah, he's the only. Honestly, he's the only one that's gonna stay. Because the other ones, they have top money.
Nah, he's not staying. He's going to where I predict him, which is, and you're not gonna like this.
Okay.
Chicago Bears.
No, I mean, I guess. I mean, they have the cap space. Well, I mean, what else am I gonna do? They have the cap space. They'll get the players they need, and that. Their defense is ass. So
yeah, they need him.
They need him. They definitely do.
Next guy is Tennessee Titans outside linebacker David Long.
David Long, I was looking into him more and more as I was doing some research, and I saw that he was a tackling machine. And honestly, PFF has him really ranked high. And honestly, I can see him go to the Giants. I think the Giants will spend a bit on him. Why not?
I'm not feeling that take, but I feel like he's gonna stay with the Titans.
Right.
They'll make something happen. They'll pay him. I feel like considering that their offense is pretty horrible, I think they'll probably go through the draft. In my opinion, they'll probably go through the draft. That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm.
And the last guy in the outside linebackers, TJ Edwards.
TJ Edwards is currently on the Eagles, and I know that, again, the Eagles are like the Saints. They're losing a lot of pieces, and they don't have enough money for all of them.
Yep.
So TJ Edwards, they're going to let him walk. And TJ Edwards, I have him going to the Falcons. But only if only Carter doesn't get signed. If that's the only exception.
I have him going kind of what you did with what's his name, Graham?
Yeah.
I have him doing the dirty and going to the Giants.
Ooh,
from Eagles to Giants.
That's crazy. I mean, there's gonna be one of those. There's gonna have to be one of those. One of them is gonna end up going to a division rival. And why not the Giants? They need the need and they got the money. So.
And now we're on to the cornerbacks, and I'm gonna start off with a name that I'm very familiar with. Played with the Rams, Marcus Peters.
Marcus Peters, I know him from the Chiefs, the Rams, the Ravens, and now that he's reaching up there in age, I'm pretty sure if he wants to get to a contender, obviously Rams aren't contenders no more. The Ravens are collapsing before our very eyes. I have him going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
I can see that. I feel like I have a different perspective on Marcus Peters. I feel like he's gonna still try to get the bag, and Atlanta needs the defense, so I think he's going to be a Falcon.
True.
I believe that, they'll pay him a little extra than most teams probably would because of the space.
Yeah.
They're going to try and entice defensive players, in my opinion.
No, yeah, definitely. They're going to need it if they want to get over the hunch. And if you're going to if you get Lamar Jackson, bring in his former teammate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Next man, Eli Apple. Obviously, I put him in here obviously because of all his antics and he's trash, but
don't say that, bro. That's fucked up.
I'm playing. But he's toast.
Yeah, he is.
So where do you think Eli Apple's gonna go? What do you think is gonna happen with him?
With Eli Apple, much respect to him as an Ohio State player, but after that, I don't recognize him. I'm playing. The guy, I mean, I think he can stay in Cincinnati on the low deal, honestly.
I predict him to get a low deal in Cincinnati, too.
Yeah, get him a low deal in Cincinnati and keep his antics there for now.
Keep his antics. Another guy, very famous right now, especially with the antics between A.J. Brown and Juju.
Right.
James Bradbury, the holder. Where do you think he's going to land in free agency?
James Bradbury, I know, well, again, that's another player that, it's going to be a casualty of the cap space for the Eagles. Given that his age is also, he's like 30 years old, I believe. The Eagles want to go young, so I don't think he stays. I see him potentially going to Jacksonville.
Oh, that's out of left field. I can see it, though, if they get the cap space figured out.
True.
I predict him to just go to the Raiders. I mean, they need everything on defense except Max Crosby.
Oh, I could tell.
He's a little older, but I feel like the Raiders will, especially since I don't predict Josh Jacobs to be there, the Raiders will definitely have the cash for him.
Oh, definitely. They lost Carr. Yeah. They're going to lose Jacobs. They're going to have a lot of cap space left over. So, Yeah, they just. I mean, honestly, I'll say this. It sounds like you're a Rams fan or something because you got everyone going to the Rams. I mean, the Raiders. My bad. You got everyone going to the Raiders.
Well, last week I didn't predict Josh Jacobs to go there. I didn't really predict anyone on offense. So this is all prediction based off of last week. So given that I predict no one on offense for the Raiders on free agency, I predict more.
Everything on Raiders?
I predict Raiders pretty much in every level for defense in free agency.
Damn. They're going to have to pray they get everyone.
Another guy, corner, very familiar with him, at least I am, because he played on the Niners. Emmanuel Mosley, where do you think he's going to go?
Emmanuel Mosley, I'm not really familiar with his game, as Shaq would say, but given that he was in the Niners, the Niners don't have that much cap space. I don't think he stays on the Niners. I think he goes to the Giants. Why not? Go to the Giants.
No, you sound like a Giants fan. So you want to put that on me? You've been saying Giants both episodes like every other player, bro.
Come on, man. It's another one. The Giants need everything, and I'm not going to say
bro, they're not good. Let's be realistic. You're saying that every other player.
Okay.
But you're acting like they're not going to re-sign Daniel Jones and Saquon. Well, you know what I'm saying?
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it more later.
I have a bold take about that, and I'm just gonna. Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
This is why I'm having everyone going on the Giants. You'll see why.
Okay, but last week you predicted them to keep both, right?
I did.
Yeah. So you're changing?
But after the news that happened today, as of this recording, we'll have it right here. You'll see why.
Okay. So, I already forgot exactly what player we were on. Oh, yeah, we were on Mosley.
Yeah, we were on Mosley.
Mosley, I predict them going to the Tennessee Titans. Their secondary is horrible. Outside of Byard, literally they have college cornerbacks, even though they're technically in the NFL playing the positions. So they need a little bit more experience. They need someone who can obviously hold his own on a good defense.
Facts.
So I'd have Mosley going there.
Yeah, Titans also have a rough defense, and
their D line's not the problem. It's their secondary.
No, yeah, they're secondary. Yeah.
So after him, I have Bradley Roby, player on the Saints, good corner. Always been a compliment to Lattimore.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's gonna go?
Well, I'm gonna take your advice, and I say he goes to the Broncos. Pair him up with Surtain. Damn. That team would be kind of cool.
I can see that, but obviously I'm not going to take that route for this one. I do think Bradley Roby's going to just go to a team that obviously is more in the middle, can still give him decent money.
Yeah.
I predict them going to the Commanders. Their secondary is still not the best. So, I mean, having him there on a short-term deal would make sense.
Oh, yeah. Commanders is a team that has a lot of cap space, and they're willing. Ron Rivera is a very defensive-minded coach. So he could do something with Roby, yeah.
And this cornerback class is deep. I have a couple more names, but before I touch on the last one, Jonathan Jones, Patriots secondary corner, kind of bursted on the scene this past year. What do you think is going to happen with him?
Jonathan Jones, given that, he did burst into the scene, I do think that there's a lot of suitors in him. A lot of people want him. But ultimately, I think he stays in New England.
I actually agree with that take. I predict him to get franchise tag. I feel like, they would probably want to see a little more out of him before they commit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. He's going to stay there. Give him, just tag him or keep him on a 1-2 year deal. And if he does good, he does good. And if he does, oh well.
So Patrick Peterson, obviously very known name, was on the Minnesota Vikings. What do you think is going to happen with him?
Patrick Peterson, another guy like Darrelle Revis that I respect a lot. Patrick Peterson was a baller in Arizona, and I just, respect the game. And now that he's 33, right? Around there. There's not a lot of options. Not a lot of options for a 33-year-old cornerback. So I think at this point, he stays one more year in Minnesota, one more year, or it's time to hang it up. I think he retires.
My prediction is that he retires.
Right.
This is the first person of two. I have one more person, but we'll say that for later.
Right.
He's the first person in my free agency predictions that obviously his name's too big enough to me and not say.
True.
And I predict him to retire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I could see that. I mean, he can go to Arizona and retire there and go back to where he started. But
I don't think that's
we'll
maybe,
see.
but I don't think it's
at this
point.
point.
I think he might just hang it up.
Yeah, at this point, it's time. Yeah.
All right, now on to my opinion, the best class in the defense in terms of free agency for this year, the safety position. I'm gonna start off with a very known name. Where do you think Jessie Bates is gonna go?
Jessie Bates III. Get it right. Anyways, Jessie Bates. Ooh, that I like the guy's game. He balled out with the Bengals last year and this year. I mean, 2 years ago and last year. Okay. Hear me on this one. I read reports that the Raiders are heavy on him.
I can see him going there.
Yeah.
I can actually see him going there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that because it's my take, but I read reports. I did my research, and the Raiders are very heavy on him.
All right. So my take is that Jessie Bates is gonna take the interesting approach. He's gonna want a lot of money,
right?
And his team has a lot of money, and his team is rebuilding.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna go to the Texans, and he'll definitely be. He'll make that defense way better just on that. I mean, him and Stingley. That secondary will have two solidified young pieces, in the secondary.
You see, that's an interesting take that I could consider for the money wise, but given his talent, I think he wants to go to a contender or at least go to a team that's going to give him good money and can get you to the playoffs. And I think I could see that happen. I could see the Bengals, him staying in the Bengals rather than go to the Texans. But
your ultimate prediction is the Raiders or the Bengals?
Raiders. But I see there's a greater chance of him staying in Cincinnati than going to the Texans.
Fair enough, but sometimes happens. Stars just go to worse teams.
Yeah, that is true.
Next guy, very big name as well, Jordan Poyer.
Jordan Poyer on the Bengals.
Not on the Bengals.
Oh,
come on.
The Bills.
The Bills. Yeah, and you're wearing the jersey, my guy. What the heck?
Yeah, the Bills. I'm not a Bills fan by any means, but I still respect the franchise, and I still,
But you love Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen. That's my guy. But in reality, Jordan Poyer, he's not staying in Buffalo. That's for sure.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's not staying. And I have him going maybe, just maybe, he goes to the Bengals. But maybe that's why I said it ahead of time. I got too ahead of myself. But that's,
if Bates doesn't, I can see it if that happens.
Yeah.
I have him getting franchise tagged by Buffalo. I feel like he's in a situation where he does want to leave for money, but at the same time, the pretty sure the Bills want to keep him. I mean, he's still very relevant to their defense. So I have him staying in Buffalo.
The thing is there, am I incorrect or not? I might be incorrect, but isn't there an age limit for the franchise tag, or am I wrong? Or I'm not sure if he's been franchise tagged before.
I don't think he has.
But
I don't think there's an age limit.
Yeah, I might be tripping, but I honestly haven't seen or maybe it's because I've never seen an old guy get franchise tagged.
That's true.
So I'm
franchise tag or not, I still think my prediction is still the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that could happen too. Yeah.
And now next guy, big name as well.
Yeah.
Becoming more and more of a star, CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Right.
Obviously the Eagles have too many defensive free agents, and I only predicted one really to just stay, and that's still gonna be the same thing after I predict where CJ Gardner-Johnson is. But before I predict where he's gonna go, where do you think he's gonna go?
Ooh, this one I had a tough time kind of figuring out what approach I wanted to say, and if one player is gonna stay in Philadelphia, I could see him. Honestly, I could see him. But I have two other options. Obviously, number one option I have is the Atlanta Falcons, and the second option, which is a more like I guess like out of there, I guess take is the Colts.
I predict Garner Johnson to get that little payday. He
Right.
got 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
Was balling for real, and the Eagles are probably gonna tell him, look, we can franchise tag you, or but you're not gonna get paid that like that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure given that, I feel like he's gonna take the big bank, take little bank type of vibe, just, and he's gonna be an Atlanta Falcon. I feel like CJ Gardner Johnson just is gonna go to the Falcons, and they're gonna at that point, if they get what I say they're gonna get, they can certainly have a very good defense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely like if the Falcons build that defense on like players that we list here. Like, I'd like to see that, honestly.
And then moving on, another bigger name. I'm familiar with him mostly because he's a division rival. Jimmy Ward, Niners safety.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's gonna go?
Jimmy Ward, honestly, I was also kind of last minute kind of glancing to see the reports and stuff. I know the 49ers are kind of like iffy on him. Like they're not sure if they want to offer him a contract and if they're gonna start looking for a replacement. So I was like just looking around, and honestly, I can see him going the Buffalo to replace Poyer if that's the case. Yeah,
I see him kind of, as I said previously, Commanders. Their secondary is kind of iffy.
True.
And I can see him just going there. I feel like they'll offer him a decent deal, and I feel like they're in a situation right now where they want to like be good already.
True.
So I'm pretty sure that's every team, but
I
feel like the Commanders, especially with Eric Bieniemy now being there in the building, they're gonna try to not just revamp the offense, but revamp the defense.
Yeah, they want a new look. Yeah,
they want a new look. Now, next guy, he's on your team, the Green Bay Packers, Adrian Amos. Where do you think he's gonna line? What things that happen with him?
So I feel like I kind of lied now that I think about it and saying that I didn't predict anyone going to my team, but he's on our team right now. He's a free agent, and I think he's just gonna stay.
I agree. I feel like Adrian Amos is gonna stay with the Packers. I mean, I could tell he likes being there, and he's good. So I'm pretty sure the Packers don't want to just cut ties.
No, as a Packers fan, like I honestly respected the hell out of him when he came. He came from the Bears, so like I'm like, damn, is he gonna do good? Is he gonna do bad? And honestly, ever since he came to us, I believe in 2018, he's balled out every year. It was 2018 or 2019. I kind of forgot the year, but I think he stays and just continues being a solid piece on our defense.
Yeah. And then next guy, Bengals again, safety, Von Bell. What do you think is going to happen with him?
Ooh, Von Bell. This is another thing. I guess I'll clarify. The Bengals are going to lose.
For sure, one of them.
They're going to lose one of them. Bates or Bell. And maybe Apple. Maybe. And Vaughn, I'm actually going to have to look here because I kind of forgot. Vaughn is an interesting guy. And obviously, Bates is better than him. So I actually have him staying.
Oh, yeah, because you said Bates to the Raiders.
Yeah. Bates not. I'm pretty sure Bates is going to be too expensive for them. And I think the owner or the GM was saying that if the possibility of Bates and Vaughn could happen, and he feels like it could be the dark days. That's what he called it. I think he said in an article, he was like, "There's gonna be dark days when if they both leave."
And that's my prediction. They're both gonna leave. I predict Von Bell to go to the I can see. Oh, to the Patriots.
Okay, we're right.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Come on. Okay, yeah, I wrote it. So what? No, but I predict them going to the Patriots. I feel like there's a reason why I predict them to go to the Patriots. It's because I predict Devin McCourty to retire.
Damn, he's done a lot for the Patriots, and it is time for it to hang it up.
Yeah.
So Von Miller would be an ideal replacement for them. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I expect them to retire, and Bob Bell goes there on good money.
Yeah,
So that pretty much wraps up all our predictions. And before we fully close, as you can see here, all these faces.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, right now the combine is going on, and I'm pretty sure by now everyone knows about Jalen Carter. And I briefly want to ask you this real quick. Yeah. Do you think, given with what happened with Jalen Carter and the situation with Georgia, do you think he's going to drop down in draft value? You think he's going to drop down or still be a top 5 pick?
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, and hopefully it gets figured out. Whatever happened, isn't serious, and I hope his stock. I mean, what matters more is whatever comes out of the investigation. Obviously, that's draft stuff is whatever later on. But I don't want to say if it's true or not. I mean, I don't want to say it's true, but if stuff comes out that goes against him, I can see his stock dropping. Even though a lot of people consider him the top prospect, I just, it could happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna drop down a little bit regardless, good or not. I feel like he still could definitely be in the first 10 picks.
True.
But nevertheless, I feel like with what happens with the combine, it's gonna certainly influence our next few episodes, because obviously we're gonna talk more about the draft.
Yeah.
And I feel like not the one coming up, but the one after that, we're probably gonna do our little draft predictions. Well, I think we'll just do the
30.
The first 32 picks.
Yeah, 32 picks. Yeah, the first 32 picks we're going to do. I think we're going to have a special for that where we're going to basically create our own mock drafts. We'll compare each other's. I'm pretty sure we'll do our own mock drafts and then compare, discuss the sleepers, discuss who's going to drop, who's going to rise. And I like that. I honestly like the draft, doing that more than free agency. No offense to this, but I honestly enjoy doing the draft a lot more.
The draft one is going to be for sure, if anything, late March, sometime in April, before the draft.
No, yeah, sure. Definitely.
Another thing that we would like to say is that we're actually going to not be able to record next week. We have some obligations, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. Definitely. Right? 2 weeks?
Yes,
pretty
2
much.
Weeks. Yes,
in
2 weeks.
By then, free agency is going to start March 15th. March 15th. Put it right there, Lopez. Put it right there. When exactly it starts.
Yes, sir.
March 15th.
Yeah.
And when we film again, there's already going to for sure be news of where people actually go. Yeah. So that's for sure going to be our next episode for sure, when we dissect what happens in a couple weeks.
And I feel like we should also kind of cover who goes where from our list. Not all of them, but just highlight the important ones.
Let's see who is more accurate.
That we could do that. I honestly wouldn't mind.
I am doing that. I'm gonna because when I have more predictions right than you, I'm gonna rub my cards in your face, bro.
Come on, man. Anyways, that's why I enjoy doing this. Kind of seeing who goes where and what. And this time around, we can kind of compete about it. See.
Because we some nerds when it comes to this.
For sure. I mean, last week was rough. I will admit last week was rough for me because it was a tough week and I didn't research as much. But this time I actually made sure to write down the players I see going where, researching their, stats and all that, and seeing what fits them. So as we get better, as we go on with the weeks, we're gonna, learn more and, research a lot more.
Yeah, we're gonna for sure have a lot of good things coming up, and this pretty much sums up this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and go Rams.
And as always, follow us on our social media, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.